news as TikTok CEO faces the U.S. Congress this morning in an effort to prove the protection of its users. UNT Mean Green, a new method to minimize plastic waste on campus for those who dine at the UNT food court, and a miraculous story of how a man used his valuable CPR skills to save his spouse's life.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Piper Gifford.
And I'm Naomi Sanchez. In the midst of backlash, TikTok CEO Shuzi Chu is appearing in front of a U.S. congressional committee this morning. Many concerns have arisen amongst political figures that the app is possibly sharing sensitive data from American users with the Chinese government. Representatives of the U.S. are making a clear stand against the popular video sharing app. Chu has repeatedly denied the app's links to China, even though the app itself is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese internet giant. The Singaporean CEO took on his role in May of 2021 amid deep scrutiny with alleged ties and has been on offense trying to convince the government that TikTok protects the privacy of its users. His argument brings many factors, including small American businesses and their reliance on the app to help draw in more customers.
More than 1 billion monthly active users around the world, including over 150 million in the United States. Our app is a place where people can be creative and curious, and where close to 5 million American businesses, mostly small businesses, go to find new customers and to fuel their growth. Now, as TikTok has grown, we've tried to learn the lessons of companies that have come before us, especially when it comes to the safety of teenagers.
At the University of London and received his MBA from Harvard before moving up in the ranks by helping TikTok's parent company gain financial stamina. His initial role with TikTok as CFO soon turned into CEO after replacing Kevin Mayer, former Disney executive, to help TikTok's financial discipline. Now, with many U.S. representatives supporting the ban of TikTok, one representative from New York is opposing the ban. New York Representative Jamal Bowman has taken a stand for the app, stating that it poses no more of a threat against the U.S. than other apps like Twitter or Facebook. Protesters consisting of TikTok creators and users are standing outside the court supporting the app, making the argument that many rely on it to help support businesses and their livelihood. And now moving on from TikTok, the weather here in North Texas has been pretty nice these past couple days, don't you think, Piper?
I have been a big fan of it, but my allergies are kind of acting up. I wonder what we have in the near forecast.
We never like allergies, but hey, if there's a little bit of sun in there, we'll take it.
Yeah, maybe get a tan.
Yeah.
Let's see what our weatherman, Peter Rabel, has to say. Peter?
Well, guys, I know you're excited for the sun, but it's not out right now. We've been talking about how it's going to be raining on Thursday all week, but it didn't rain on us either. It's just cloudy right now. It's 77 degrees outside. It's warmed up over the past week, but there is 20-mile-an-hour wind, so it's a pretty windy day outside. That's not affecting how it actually feels, though. The weather today is just about warm, and that's about it. Warm and windy. It's a little bit humid. As we move into tonight, we'll see that temperature is going to kind of stay with us. It's going to only go down to 69. It'll feel just a little cooler since the sun isn't out, but that wind is going to pick up as we go into the night, and then into tomorrow we'll see that the clouds are going to go away a little bit. It's going to go back to just being partly cloudy, but that's mostly because we're going to see a lot of clouds in the beginning of the day. When it maybe rains on us, we'll see, and then it's going to clear up really fast once the sun comes up. So it'll be 73 degrees outside tomorrow, just a little cooler if that rain comes in, and 16-mile-an-hour winds. Everything will calm down a little bit after about 9 o'clock tomorrow. But that's all I have for your first look. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Peter. An arrest has been made in the Thomas Jefferson High School shooting that took place this past Tuesday. The arrest was made after reports that a student had been shot in the arm in the parking lot of the high school around 4:40 p.m. Dallas ISD spokeswoman Robin Harris confirmed that the shooter is a TJHS student, but is unaware of any arrests that had been made regarding the incident. The shooting took place only 10 minutes after the high school had let out. Classes for TJHS and Walnut Hill Elementary were closed Wednesday to give students a moment to breathe while staff prepared for their return with a mental health team.
And now a mother in North Carolina was startled at a selfie her son sent her from school. The photo showed his mouth taped shut, and the most shocking part was the teacher was the one who put it there. CNN's Chelsea Donovan reports.
It's hard to imagine painter's tape being used to silence a middle schooler in the classroom. Now his mother is speaking out about her concerns in his classroom.
This is 11-year-old Brady Webster inside his classroom last month.
So I asked, what is that? Who did that? And he didn't respond.
It's a text that Catherine Webster got from her son on February 14th from inside Smithfield Middle.
Just layer after layer. There were some pieces that went right up to his lower eyelid.
Painter's tape stuck across the 6th grader's face. He says by his English and language arts teacher.
So I showed the principal the photo, and she took us into her office.
From there, an investigation within the school system began.
It had been going on, about 2 months, and that it had happened to several kids in the classroom, and sometimes she tapes some kids' wrists together, sometimes she tapes their mouths.
Brady told his mom he didn't speak up because he didn't want to question his teacher.
He was humiliated.
Johnston County Schools said the teacher, who was just hired in August of 2022, resigned on February 17th, days after Brady's text to his mom. The school system went on to say, "We can confirm that whenever such allegations arise, our administration responds swiftly by investigating the allegations and sometimes by removing staff from classrooms pending completion of a thorough review."
Just because Brady did not get hurt doesn't make this any less serious.
The sheriff's office also conducted an investigation, as they said several allegations by other parents were made. But after consulting with the district attorney, they decided there wasn't enough to warrant an assault charge.
It's a very lucky thing that Brady doesn't have some condition like asthma. I want to know who is going to be holding people accountable when they do things like this and make these errors in judgment.
I asked Webster why she waited so long to tell her son's story, and she said she wanted to wait for the sheriff's office investigation to be complete, as well as the school systems. Chelsea Donovan, WRAL News, Johnston County.
Now, many may say spring is here, but is it here to stay? We have record-breaking temperatures that are spanning across the U.S., but we have more on your local weather coming up after the break.
We here at UNT value what it means to be green and environmentally friendly. Find out how our campus is looking to take that initiative a step further. We'll see you after the break.
And fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon.
Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Welcome back. The man accused of attacking Nancy Pelosi's husband appeared before a federal judge on Wednesday. The long-awaited trial date is now set to October 23rd. 42-year-old David DePape faces several charges at both the federal and state level for his alleged attack on Paul Pelosi last October. The attack took place at Nancy and Paul Pelosi's home in San Francisco. In an interview with San Francisco police, DePape said his intentions of breaking into the home was to hold Nancy Pelosi hostage. She was in Washington at the time of the incident. DePape has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His attorneys said they plan to ask to move the trial to a new location in the next few weeks.
And now spring is here, and even though it's been feeling like it in Texas, some other states aren't feeling that same warmth. St. Paul, Minneapolis recorded some record-breaking temperatures this past weekend. It was their coldest St. Patrick's Day weekend since 1993. Mounds of snow were collected from the snowstorm, and snowplowers had to tackle the tough terrains. Authorities say that despite March coming to an end, they may have more snow in the coming weeks.
Wow, that was a very different spring break and St. Patrick's Day experience up north.
Oh my gosh, all I can say is that could not be me. I love my warm weather, but let's see if that's here to stay. I wonder if the kind of temperatures we're seeing right now are the ones we'll have in our future. Let's take it over to Peter for that look of what's to come.
Thanks, Nomi and Piper. Yeah, I know it feels a little warmer outside, and we're kind of enjoying that. It feels like a Texas spring. We got 75 and 74 over in the west over there. It's just a little bit cooler in the north than it is in the south. Denton is 77 right now, as with most of the Metroplex. So if you're in the city, it's going to feel just a little bit warmer, but outside in the outskirts, it's a little bit cooler. As we look at our larger region, you'll see it's generally 77 everywhere right now. 80 down in Houston, just a little bit warmer. 78 in Austin. 63 or 63 and 64 in Amarillo and Oklahoma City, just a little bit cooler, a little further north. But as we look at our 7-day forecast, you'll see that those temperatures are going to stay about the same for us. They're not going to change too much. 73 tomorrow, even if it does rain, and then 72 both over the weekend. Do notice that it gets a little bit colder in the low temperatures in the evening between Sunday and Wednesday there. There's going to be a little cold front, but like I keep saying, every time we see one of those cold fronts come in, it gets a little weaker, and it's going to get all the way up to 64 at the lowest on Tuesday, and then we'll see a chance of rain coming back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as those clouds roll back in. But we're looking to have a pretty sunny weekend. You're going to get to enjoy the first real weekend of spring, I think, this coming weekend. So, get prepared for that and get ready to enjoy it. But that's all I've got for weather. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Peter. I'm glad to see that weather is starting to get even warmer. UNT's Mean Green spirit is going even greener. If you're looking for a new way to minimize plastic waste on campus, I have the perfect thing for you. Let's take a look. Texas is working hard to minimize its carbon footprint, but what's new in the works? Students who dine at the campus chat food court have a new option to reuse, reduce, and recycle. It's the new Green Choice takeout system. It's a $5 reusable container that provides students with an option to minimize their plastic waste. But how does it work? Go place an order at Sauté or Flat Top Grill and request a Green Choice box. Once you receive your order, make your way over to the cash register and pay for your meal and the entrance fee. Once you've finished your meal, head on over to the Green Choice machine. Scan your box and receive a token. This token is your program membership, and be sure not to lose it. UNT student Astrid Contreras says she supports the program.
That's amazing. Yeah, we don't even have to do dishes. Are you kidding? That's great. I love it.
But some students have concerns about the cost of the box. I spoke with Blake Butterfield about his worries.
I'm paying $5 to take on the burden of saving the environment instead of my Tier 1 research university that I pay so much money to go to already. which doesn't make sense.
Sandeep Basu is one of the program's directors, and he says there's future plans for lowering the costs.
We are working towards a target, and once we reach that target, we're going to subsidize the cost of the container.
As for the future of Green Choice, only time will tell. I always enjoy learning and even sharing the new methods to save the planet. Keep up with us for more updates on the Green Choice program.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a new law into act this Wednesday prohibiting any gender reaffirming care for transgender minors. This new law bans healthcare professionals from providing treatment that is not in line with the minor's gender at birth. This includes any treatment that changes the appearance or perception of gender. Some Democrats in Iowa State's House called out supporters of the ban for hypocrisy as they argue they are not giving parents a choice. Governor Reynolds also signed into act what's known as bathroom bills, which inhibit transgender people from using bathrooms that don't correlate with their gender at birth.
On Monday, hundreds of LGBTQ Texans and supporters gathered at the Capitol in Austin to voice their concerns on anti-LGBTQ bills. More than 1,500 bills were filed by the Texas legislature and could affect cities across the state. This includes House Bill 643, filed by Denton County Representative Jared Patterson. House Bill 643 aims to punish businesses that host drag shows by renaming them as sexually oriented business. Currently, the City of Denton Code Ordinance does not allow these kinds of businesses, so this bill will force local businesses to pay additional taxes or even close down. The bill has not been scheduled for hearing just yet and is currently pending in the House State Affairs Committee.
And meanwhile, UNT is hosting their own yearly drag show this Thursday, April 6th, featuring a special guest from the popular TV series RuPaul's Drag Race. Students will also perform in drag, and the event is free to the public. Despite last year's show being canceled due to safety concerns, Pride Alliance and the University Program Council have no current plans to postpone. Tickets will go live closer to the date of the event.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at the celebration that President Biden held for National Women's Month.
And we'll give you an insight on the scoop of the new DIY hair salon here in Denton. Stay with us. I think this could, did I just put one or was this
movie.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, so we have to watch the next one before next class, right?
We do?
I think so, but it's not on Netflix and it's not on Hulu, so...
Man, I don't want to pay for that.
So what do we do?
You think there's a place we could go to get the movie?
I'm not sure, maybe?
Oh, there's a place to get the movie.
Oh?
Really?
Yeah, it's right here on campus. Come on, I'll show you.
Welcome back. In the Capitol, Biden hosted a reception in celebration of Women's History Month. In attendance were First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and many other prominent women throughout the country. The reception was held at the White House, honoring the achievements and contributions of women throughout American history.
And ever wanted to dye your hair but didn't because you were worried about getting the wrong color? Well, Worry no more. Sally Beauty has launched a new concept store in Denton with a twist. Getting your hair now done is a DIY learning experience with your stylist. Appointment booking options will now include having a stylist assist you with the color selection, begin the mixing coloring process, and, finish the process as well. The beauty store's vice president says they sought to connect with the universities here in Denton and offer a much more personalized community connection. The new concept store will also provide 45-minute group classes for color and root touch-ups, which will be open for anyone to join.
A new study for JAMA Cardiology found that Black and Hispanic adults are less likely to have access to cholesterol medication. Statin is a drug that can be prescribed to lower cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. But the study, which looked at over 3,000 participants, found that fewer Black and Hispanic subjects were on statin than their white counterparts at all risk levels, with the largest differences among the highest risk groups. The study also found that people of color are 30% more likely to die of cardiovascular disease than white people. A co-writer of the study alleges that the source of the difference can be found in the difference in access to health care and health insurance.
And now a truly amazing story. A woman's life was saved after cardiac arrest due to her husband's knowledge of CPR. CNN's Betsy Webster has a story.
Did you ever think he was going to save your life?
I didn't think he would need to.
You wouldn't know Jennifer Schudig nearly died, aside from the portable defibrillator she carries with her. Just 4 weeks ago, Gladstone Fire and EMS were rushing her to North Kansas City Hospital.
They said that they had to shock me 5 times on the way to the hospital.
She was unconscious for days after collapsing while having coffee on her porch. She's still here because medics arrived in just 2 minutes, and because of her husband.
Her lips were gray and granite looking, and realized she wasn't breathing. I started to kind of, freak out, maybe, if you want to call it that. But then I realized that, hey, CPR, you're going to need to do it.
He first learned CPR in the Air Force in 1978 and has been recertified every 2 years since. He never once used it until Jennifer's heart stopped.
To be able to perform that in that kind of situation on your own wife is truly remarkable, and he did it well. It made all the difference.
He says less than 10% of people who have cardiac arrest outside of a hospital setting survive. But survival's not the only concern. Many people who do make it, he says, have brain damage from not having oxygen to the brain for too long.
The fact that Jennifer recovered so well shows that CPR was circulating oxygen to her brain.
There's not enough thank yous, or, there's not the words to say how I appreciate it.
A lot of thank yous.
What he wants is for their story to inspire others.
Get trained and learn CPR and stay on top of it. And they can maybe save somebody's life down the line.
I've had 3 friends sign up for CPR training now. I mean, I wouldn't be here had he not had CPR training.
Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
In stressful situations, it's always important to act quickly. If you're able to provide aid or by calling 911, you may save a life. And now, Piper, it is Thursday. We're at the end of the week, and I'm pretty sure there's been a lot going on in the world of sports.
I'm sure. March Madness, we're in March right now. I'm sure all that's going on. I personally have no idea what's going on, but I know that Amanda does. Amanda Malini with our sports today. Amanda?
With Luka's return to the Mavs and the final impact of the World Baseball Classic and more after this.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Doncic returned from a 5-game absence due to a thigh injury. Despite a 30-point, 17-assist performance from the superstar guard, it wasn't the homecoming party Mavs fans were hoping for. The Mavs lost by 2 points to the defending champion Warriors in a game that came down to the last possession, but those 2 extra points may not have been legal. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is protesting one play where the Warriors were able to get an easy layup due to a strange call. The Mavs claimed that the refs said Dallas ball and then changed the ruling to the Warriors' possession during the timeout, and it is unlikely that anything will come of this challenge, but it has happened. The last game to be replayed due to a protest in the NBA happened between the Atlanta Hawks and Miami Heat in 2008. Eric Nadel has been the voice of the Texas Rangers on the radio for the last 44 years, but for the first time ever, he will be missing opening day in order to seek treatment for his mental health. He told ESPN that I now find myself dealing with anxiety, insomnia, and depression, which are currently preventing me from doing the job I love. He's continued to be an advocate for mental health as a 162-game season is taxing on all involved, but he is tremendously grateful for his radio booth counterparts as they will start the season without him. If you look at the numbers provided by Major League Baseball, you would agree that baseball is a dying sport. My joy as a consumer of the sport is fleeting. However, the fight for glory in the World Baseball Classic was one of unmatched energy amongst both players and fans. In the 2023 rendition of the World Baseball Classic, the stars of MLB played amongst their home countries, bringing the energy back to the competition. MLB Chief Operations Officer Chris Marniak told ESPN that international growth will be the biggest driver of business. Teams play through qualifiers in the fall, which allowed for Great Britain to see their first ever World Baseball Classic, and this means a lot for them as their governing body of baseball is volunteer-based, and they didn't even have a home field. The financial impact reaches far beyond that, as Japan could see up to a $444 million economic boost with their victory. This would be a $188 million more than they saw in the 2017 WBC. The WBC looks to bring in well past $150 million this year after seeing a 31% increase in sponsorships. Beyond that, the social impact remains to be seen as Cuban national team's bullpen catcher, Ivan Prieto, defected following their loss to the U.S. With March Madness in full swing, it's hard to believe that just 50 years ago, women were fighting for their opportunity to compete. A showcase marking the 50th anniversary of the Title IX here in the Women's Final Four in Dallas reminded us how and why we are able to be a part of this event today. Take a look.
Or Title IX federal law. And the AT&T Discovery District in downtown Dallas is presenting the NCAA's Title IX 50th Anniversary Showcase. Title IX states that no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subject to discrimination under any educational program or activity of receiving federal financial assistance. This landmark of a law targeted discrimination based on sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity, and allowed for all people to be acknowledged equally when it came to subjects such as recruitment, admissions, athletics, and more. Because of Title IX, the NCAA is able to put on a showcase like this, celebrating not only the history of women's college basketball, but also the histories of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, the WNBA, Women's USA Basketball, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and more. Title IX has had a monumental impact on generations of women.
Yeah, I think that Title IX, I mean, like you said, I'm a second-generation beneficiary of that. So having my mom be able to play a college sport and be on scholarship kind of, you know, changed the trajectory that I had for my basketball career. So then I wanted to do the same as her, follow her pathway, and now I'm here on scholarship at Stanford. So Title IX paved the way for her, and it's allowed me to go amazing places that I could never imagine.
It opened on March 3rd, but the showcase will be on display until April 30th. And it comes right before the 2023 NCAA Women's Final Four match here in Dallas. So you'll definitely want to check it out before it's gone.
Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television. That was a good change. It worked for the